We are live. Good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. I'm Robert Henderson Jr., President, Founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. And joining me, located here in Miami Lakes, Florida, and joining me live in the studio is the one and only living legend, my man, my brother from another mother, Mr. James T. from Hot 105. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Rob, I am doing great, and I know you doing great too. We all doing great, Rob. We may be a little late, but it's not because we weren't here. It's because these computers act up, right, Robert?
Yes, they do. They do what they want to do.
When they want to do it, when they want to do it.
Yes, man.
So we apologize to the listeners. But Rob, before we get into our conversation today, last week, and I was just talking with another friend of ours, and of course, yes, this gentleman is a veteran. And last week we had on a lovely lady, Miss Stevens, who talked about a big event. And I've been getting calls, questions. As a matter of fact, he called to say that he will be at the event as well. And he lives up in Martin County. So I'm telling everybody, if you know of a veteran, because this is for veterans only, if you know of a veteran out there, family member, friend, neighbor, whatever, tell them that there's an event for them. No cost, it's all free. It's going to be food, but more than that, it's going to be food for the brain, for the mind, because they're going to help veterans to get the benefits that they deserve. They're calling this event Keeping America's Promise. And for many who served in the armed forces, armed services, whatever the branch is, you can come out Saturday, June 22nd. It starts at 10 a.m. sharp. The address is 5001 Flamingo Road, and that's going to be in Miramar, Florida, 33025. And it's at Miramar's National Guard Readiness Center. And if you'd like more information, um, I would give you a number to call. Well, here's the number: 1 800 229 9792. That's 1 800 229 9792. And last week we had someone to post it up as well. So if you want to go back to last week's um,
So,
conversation that we had, our show, you can get information there. And you can, as a matter of fact, the caller that I was speaking with, Robert, before we went on, said he thought that he was watching us today because he was listening to the
last week.
last week's message. So
Well,
it
hey,
was
it's
good.
never
Yeah.
never too late. Never too late. It's better late than never, right?
Right, exactly, exactly. And I mean, there are so many benefits. I know that a lot of times what we put emphasis on is how much money the government is going to give me monthly. But I put emphasis on how much money and how much information can I get that I can make or earn more money than the government is willing to pay me. I want to take advantage of those opportunities. So, and there are opportunities that veterans can take advantage of that the government has set up so that they can have a better life for the life that they put on the line for all of us.
Yeah, man, that's so true, James. That is so true, and I'm so happy. I've got emails, calls about the program. Also, wanting to find out, when is it taking place and where. So that's really good that you giving us the information, and hopefully before we leave here today, somebody will post a telephone number um, that you gave out. Also, uh, say it one more time. Maybe somebody will post it for us. It's 1-800.
1 800 229
Uh huh.
9792.
9792. 1-800 229
29
97.
97 92, and it's called Keeping America's Promise. And we applaud Commissioner Maxwell B. Chambers of Miramar, because Miramar, when hearing about uh, what's happening here, because this is the 80th anniversary of the signing of the GI Bill, and Rob, we always miss out on the information. We'll take that handout, but I want the information so that I can plant, nurture, and harvest. you know, hey, Rob, I'll take the handout because I can share the handout. But what I want is that information that says, "Hey, Rob, we can buy, build, sell, hey, and develop. Yeah, we discussed the gentleman that last week we was discussing the gentleman down in Richmond Heights who built a community. We can do that. We can build communities. We can build communities. And why not build in the community you live in? you know,
Yeah,
well,
man, you exactly. You know, you when you said that, you made me think about last night. I was on the treadmill and the elliptical, and the whole time I was on there, I was listening to Dr. Claude Anderson.
woo, that's my man. That's my man.
And I mean, I could listen to him all day, man. I mean, a lot of people have never even heard of Dr. Claude Anderson and his experience, and what he speaks about is so true. And he talks about, economics and the black man and integration, just, just how a lot of things started, and what they don't teach us in school, so to speak, and the way America is set up. It's very, very interesting point of view. So those of you all who've never heard of Dr. Claude Anderson, just go to YouTube and listen to some of his talks and conversations. It's pretty interesting, because James, I find that most people just don't know.
Mhm.
They just don't know, and some people live, born, live, and die not knowing, just not knowing, never knew, just never knew, never knew that they could have done some things to make their life a little better. Because most people, all they know is what's in front of them and all that they hear and they see. But life really is about the people you meet, and the books that you read, and things that you discover. And some people don't want to discover nothing. They just in their own little world. When you're in your own little cocoon, your own little world, you limit your reality. You really do. And we, each and every one of us, can have a big reality or have a small reality. What you think and how you feel produces your reality. And some people say, hey, this is all to life. No, that's all to your reality. You can make it as big. You can mean it's a whole lot of interesting people that and that you couldn't even imagine that's on the planet that's doing things. So when you limit your reality, man, you really limit the your world. And people feel like that's it to life. No, it's bigger than you ever could even imagine. There's more things to learn and know. I've even at this time, I've been doing what I do here in the financial service business for over 37 years, and it's always something new to learn. It's always something different. And a lot of times when I learn something, I'm like, man, I should have known that 10 years ago, but I wasn't in the right circles. Or I didn't know they were doing that. But they're always doing something, whatever it is, whatever challenges that you face. If you just say to yourself, I know somebody knows something, I got to find out. So that's what, James, we always talk about: asking, seeking, and knocking, and all that's. And the good book, whether you believe in the scriptures or whatever, but it's a good guidebook, and I haven't seen it lie yet, and it's a good prediction. I just haven't. I mean, you don't have. You could be an atheist, or you can say you don't believe in God or whatever. But there's certain principles that's in the Holy Scriptures, the books, and they're in the Bible, they're in the Quran. They're in the Torah. I mean, they're from the past, and it's just understanding. It's just things from the past. That each and every one of us could use. Brother, he must have had a power outage, Brother James T, because he went off. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be dialing back in. But we're going to keep on going. When I see him pop back in the studio, I'll click him on so he can join the conversation. James C really likes this stuff. He really likes sharing, and he really likes educating people. He wish he could do more where he works at Hot 105. He's been trying. Trust me, he's been trying to give the people more than just bump and grind and just the same music over and over. He's been trying, but he doesn't have that kind of power right now. But we know somebody who do have that power. Like they said, just wait on when the time is right. Then it will happen, because he's a legend in hot in South Florida. Matter of fact, all around the country, and his heart eager to do more and help the people and bring them more than just bump and grind. He just thinks that there's more, and he knows that there's more that people need in this community, and the community needs a lot of different things. Yeah, it's okay to, to laugh and have a good time and dance, but education and knowing and wisdom and understanding really takes you to the next level and help you to expand your reality and help you to expand your world. One of the things that, like I said, I had been getting some calls, and still now, even after doing this 37 years, there's a lot of people that do not truly understand what is an IRA, retirement planning, and grown people. I'm not just talking about people who are 16 or 17 years old or 18 or 21. These are grown people who really don't understand it, and they just going through the channel to have an IRA or to have a retirement account 401k, but they really just don't understand it. Don't know why, but they're just doing it because they say you should do it, but they don't really understand it. So I want to talk a little bit about what is an IRA, and how does it really work? An IRA, it's an individual retirement account. The I stand for individual, the R stands for retirement, and the A stands for account. So it's an IRA, individual retirement account. And the reason why they call it individual retirement account, because the system set it up for you yourself individually to take care of your retirement. That's where, okay, we got my brother right here. He popped in, he's back. What's up,
Hey,
brother?
that enemy didn't want me to talk.
Yeah. I know, but I was talking for you, man. I say James T.
Yes,
Maybe had a power outage or something.
no, hey man, that enemy, he controls the airways, but he can't prevent us from talking. But
We,
Rob, you were saying something that I was going to comment on, particularly with Dr. Claude Anderson. I had the pleasure of speaking with him and interviewing him. Well, when I first started talking to him, any number of times, I was hosting a radio program called Hot Talk for a few months while they were making changes at our station. And when I started studying this guy, I had a friend in D.C. to reach out to him. And this gentleman would allow at 11 o'clock p.m. on Sunday nights, he would sit, we would come together and he would share and talk about his experiences and where he thought we were. And he talked about how there were things that we could do as a people that we weren't doing as other groups of people were doing. And one of those things was how money would turn over in other communities, 5, 6, 7, not any number of times. But within the Black and brown community, hey, money wasn't even turning over or being exchanged one time in our community. So, when you mention that we should study these people and we should learn from them, it is so important that we recognize all that we need to get more than we can ask, think, or imagine. We already have. It's already been given to us. We're blessed with it. And we have to do, as you said, ask, seek, and knock. And when you were talking about people just don't see things, if all that we see is what we see with our eyes, we're never seeing all that there is to see. Yeah, Rob, this is what we're seeing now. All we have to do is reflect. The things that we deal with daily now at one time did not exist. What we're doing, this
yeah,
this that this that you and I are doing, and talking and reaching out to people, and people being able to, hey, there was a time that this didn't exist in our now time, but it was always there.
yes, yes. It was always there. We just didn't have the conscience, that we couldn't look into the future, or we didn't we couldn't see it. We couldn't see it with our naked eyes, but it was always it was
It was
always
always there.
it
So
was always
therefore,
possibility.
there's so much more that's here that we don't see now. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
that can take us to another level.
And that constantly happens over and over and over. Just because you don't see it, that doesn't mean that it's not there. It reminds me of those abstract pictures. You ever look at those pictures and they say, can you see the little
Hmm.
man in the picture or whatever? Can you see the frog or whatever? You're like, no, I can't see it because the lines are going and you're distracted. But if you look closely, you can see it. But even more, what you're saying is, um, you know, most of us, man has a problem uh, and separated from the spiritual side. We're on the physical side, and we take the physical part of us humans, we give it more weight than the spiritual side, because the physical side is what you can, use the five senses with, and that's all we know. But the instincts, that cleverness, that clairvoyance, that insight, that doesn't rely on the five senses. You can't, you can't see it, but you just know it. That's something that we need to shop and get more educated and learn how to use that power that we all possess. uh that's how you go to the next level, and we just haven't been conditioned to use our
Wow.
own gifts.
That's the
Yeah.
truth. Rob, we, as you often say, we've been taught what to think. We have not been taught how to think.
How to think. That's right. That's
There's
right.
a big difference.
Oh, huge difference. Huge
A
different, man.
big difference.
Huge different. And a lot of us is happy, what we've been taught. We feel like this is all to life, but the people who are excelling and going to another level, they not only going through the same had the same experience of being told what to think, but then they ventured out. You ventured out and you start wanting to think outside of what they told you, and that's when you start discovering something. There's something much a bigger world, and that world is much bigger, much profound, much rewarding, much more powerful. But so many people are still in the world where if you don't hear about it, you think it's not there. If they didn't tell you, you don't know it, you know, and you don't believe it if you don't see it, and that's just not all to life. So James, as you went off uh uh and got disconnected, I started saying that there's so many people, I get a lot of calls about, what is a retirement, or what was an IRA, individual retirement account. And I just kind of like want to recap. I know it's elementary. There's a lot of people that do know, but there's more people that do not know. They have it, but they don't understand what it is, James. They just know they should, and the government says, hey, put money into an individual retirement account for yourself. Save some of your money. Now, how does that work? A lot of employers, or if you don't have an employer that has a retirement plan, there's an opportunity that you can go to the bank. You can come to the Henderson Financial Group. Matter of fact, I have a lady coming in here later today. After the show, I gotta go to a funeral. A client I've been asked to speak, and after that, I'm going to come back to the office and I'm going to meet. I got like 3 appointments later on this evening. The last one's at 5:00. But hey, I'm here to serve. I don't say no. If you need me, and we have to do this. We have to do it because next Wednesday, I'm gonna be in Utah at a conference, so I have to try to get it in as I get it in. Now, on Sunday, I say, well, I still hold that back. I ain't coming in on Sunday. I mean, that's a day where I have to, be group and chill out. But I'll Saturdays, it's not a big deal for me. I'll come in if we have to get it done. And we got to operate. If I got to perform surgery, I will do it on a Saturday. And if it's life or death, I'll do it on a Sunday. I have done it on a Sunday. You know what I mean? I actually had to perform, financial surgery to help someone. I will do it, But anyway, so the individual retirement account, let's recap, because some of y'all say, I already know what that is, but people don't understand it and they do it. And a lot of us are going through life, James, doing things, but we don't know why. We say, we're saving some money. But an individual retirement account says, the government says, listen, we're not going to take care of y'all because y'all are spending all y'all money. Y'all like squirrels are eating all y'all nuts. So here's a program that if you put money in, open an account, an IRA, individual retirement account, and for 2024, they cap it at $7,000. So each and every one of us, if you got a job, if you're working this year, 2024, you're allowed to take $7,000 out of your money that you earn and put it into an account for later, for future. Your actions today say you can put up to $7,000. And if you're over 50 years old, 50 years and over, you can put an extra $1,000. You can put in $8,000. And there's a lot of people that, bus drivers, truck drivers, landscape people, you'll be surprised, James. More than 50% of all Americans have nothing saved for retirement. Nothing. And yet, a
They're gonna
hundred percent
retire.
of 100% of people one day want to retire. You follow me? Most people want to retire. I shouldn't say 100%. I would say probably 95% of people want to retire. Because James, you and I, the reason I had to back that up, because you and I, only time we're gonna retire is when we go into another galaxy. When we can't move no more, that's when we gonna retire.
Toes up.
Because we love what we do. What you say? Toes up?
Toes up. Not down.
Hopefully toes up. Hopefully toes up and not toes down.
Now, Rob, when you laying back like this, toes are up. When we out here doing that, the toes are down. But hey, but we'll be here for a moment because God has a purpose for us.
So then, can you believe that? I would say 95% of people say, they want to reach a time where they retire. A lot of people say they want to do it at 50, 55, and or 65, and they don't have enough money.
And they don't have a plan. And they don't have a plan.
It's the guy called the office. This guy is 62 years old. He drives trucks. And he says, Mr. Henderson, I want to retire. I said, when? He said, I want to retire. He said, I'm tired, man. At least by I'm 65. I said, that's 3 more years. What have you put away? He said, he ain't put nothing away. I said, well, how is that you want to stop being gainfully employed? You want to stop earning money. You want to make so you saying in 3 more years, you don't want to do nothing to get more money, but you want to live and need money, but you ain't save no money. And I'm not talking to a 16-year-old. This is a guy who's 62 years old, man. So data says, history says, the report says that more than half of human beings have that same mindset. And I can start him off with an IRA or SEP IRA, so you can put in more than $7,000 for 2025. But so the IRA, this is what it says. The government says, listen, for those y'all who, don't have anything for retirement, if you put up to $7,000 into an account, let's say you made, $50,000 for the year. Now, instead of being taxed on $50,000, you're going to be taxed on $43,000 because we're not going to tax you on that $7,000 that you put into a retirement account, because we know that you are saving for retirement, and it's going to help the government, because the government, that's less strain that you're going to be begging Section 8 or welfare, asking the government to help your grown self out because you didn't put none of your money away. So that's what an individual retirement account. The problem with what I think about individual retirement accounts, James, is on the surface it says it's good intentions, but it's always looks like one thing, but it's another. So it's the government says, listen, I want you to put $7,000 inside of a retirement account, an IRA, and you made $50,000, so we're not going to tax you on $50,000 for the whole current year. We're only going to tax you on $43,000, because $7,000 we're going to disregard that. We'll tax you later. So people put $7,000 away, and let's just say the $7,000. Let's fast forward, goes to $100,000. Now, if they wouldn't have put the $7,000 away, they'd have had to pay tax on the $50,000. So even tax on $7,000, 20% on $7,000, if they had to pay the tax, then that's on 7,000, that's that's $1,400. Okay, that's $1,400. So you figure 20%, it's $1,400. So people say, no, I want to postpone, I want to defer. So I'm gonna put this money in the IRA. So I want all 7,000 to go to work. I don't want to take out no taxes. So let's just fast forward. Let's say that instead of paying $1,400 on that 7,000, one day that 7,000 grew to 100,000. So now fast forward, it's 20 years, 30 years later, it's $100,000. And you go, okay, I only put $7,000 in there. I put it in good investments. I put it in Apple computer or Microsoft or Amazon or something, Google, whatever. And it grew from 7,000 to 100,000. So now you get ready to retire. And you say, okay, I want to take this money out. And the government says, well, you owe me $20,000 minimum. And you say, why I owe you $20,000? The government say, because you remember you put $7,000 in it, when it started, and you didn't pay 20% then, which would have been $1,400. You could have paid me then, government says, but no, you wanted to postpone, you want to defer. That's the whole thing what an individual retirement account is. Don't pay it when it's supposed to be due, just wait and pay it later. So now it has grown to 100,000, and the minimum 20% on that is 20,000. So you say, man, I could have paid you $1,400 and you'd have been out of my hair. Now at $100,000, I get ready to take the money. I don't owe you nothing. Yeah, you could have done that. And you look back and say, my God, I'm older now. Why didn't somebody tell you? Well, I'm telling y'all now. That's the way it works. Right now we're talking about the future. That's the way it works. I'm just using round numbers. 7,000 grew into 100,000. Okay, so now you get ready to take the money out. You got to pay 20%, which is $20,000. So you would figure now, hold on, let's back up for a second. Let's back up. In the beginning, when you put in the $7,000 to the IRA, the individual retirement account, you had a choice. You could postpone the taxes, which 99% of people do, which means that they say the tax is 20%, 7,000, you got to pay $1,400 in tax. You could have said, no, let me just pay government $1,400 for putting in $7,000 into a retirement account. I'm gonna pay the tax, so I don't have to pay y'all later. You could have done that. But then you're thinking, okay, you didn't do it. You postponed it. You deferred it. You deferred the tax. That's what an individual retirement does. It postponed the taxes until later, until the money get bigger. So you would think, James, you would say, okay, listen, government, I understand I didn't pay you when it was $7,000. I didn't pay you $1,400. But I should have paid you $1,400. So now that it has grown to 100,000, government, I reneged on paying 20% on 7,000. Can I just pay you what I owe you?
No.
Can I just pay you the $1,400, what I should have paid you initially when I first opened the account? Can I come back and do it now? The government said no. And you would say, well, that's all I'm guilty of. I didn't make the right choice. So now I want to make the right choice. The 7,000 that I started with, here's your 1,400. Government said, no, it don't work like that. The government say, not only do you owe the 1,400, but we want 20% of all that profit, all that gain. So it's more than just the taxes the money that you put in, the tax that you postpone at that time. You not only have to pay the government what you didn't pay them when you first put the money in there, but you got to pay them part of all of your profits for the rest of your life. Now, that's amazing, Jane. I think a lot of people don't understand that, because a lot of people, when they get age 59 and a half, 60, 65, and they get ready to take money out their retirement account, they think they don't supposed to pay taxes. But as long as you do an IRA, a 401k, a 403b, a 457 plan, a SEP plan, a simple plan, any retirement account other than a Roth, ROTH IRA, a Roth, ROTH IRA says you're going to put in $7,000 and you're going to pay them people that $1,400 now. Going to get that gum off your shoe. You're going to pay them now. So now when your 7,000 years later, 30 years later grows to 100,000, you don't owe nobody nothing, because you paid them in the beginning and you got them off you. That's the way all retirement accounts. So while you working and every pay period you putting in money, you postponing it. Yeah, you saving, but you're not but you're gonna owe the man. And the longer you put in there, and the more your account go up, the more money you're gonna owe the man. So it's not just the initial taxes that you don't have to pay. They're gonna get that back and more over the next 10, 20, 30 years. And you have kids, young people that's 25 years old, graduate from college, engineer, making 70,000. First thing the government says, give the employer, put money in the 401k. It is a booby trap. Because people don't understand. People do what everybody else do. Now, is there another way? There's so many other ways to save for retirement. There's a lot of different ways to save for retirement, but that's what most people know. That's all they see. That's all they touch. That's all they feel. That's all they hear about. But James, like you say, just because you don't see it, don't think that it ain't out there. It is. A lot of wealthy people ain't doing that. They're not doing that. They put money into a Roth where they pay the taxes, get the government out of their hair. They're putting the money into a cash value life insurance. They're putting money into real estate. They're doing other things than doing that deferred postponement of your tax. Anytime you postpone anything, this is a principle. Anytime you postpone stuff, it doesn't make it better. It really does. You got to have a plan if you're going to postpone it, but not just postpone it just to postpone it. If you got a hickey on your head and it's small right here, and you're supposed to go get it looked at 6 months later, it's big. It's this big now.
But Rob, is it also, please share with us, when you have companies where you can do active rollovers and roll it out. Yeah. Speak to that.
Okay. What is a rollover? So there are people that are getting ready to retire and they don't understand how to get the money out or how to transfer their money in the most economical way. They don't. Because let's say you getting ready to retire, you've been working, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. And let's say you have $500,000 inside a retirement account. You got choices. You could leave your money you can leave service and leave your money with your company and get the statements. And when you leave it, most of the time, you don't know what you're leaving, how it is. You're just hoping and just gambling. You don't really know what, because it's in the stock market. You don't really know. And I would say when you get ready to retire, your money really shouldn't be going up and down, yo-yoing when you get ready to retire. Because when you retire, you need to have fixed income. You need to have money that's going to come to you every month. Social Security, a pension, or your 401k, you need to turn that over into something that's going to give you precise a certain amount of money every month. Because that's what you need. You don't need your money to be $400,000 this month and $380,000 next month. And then the next month you're looking at the statement and it's $390, and the next month it's $340, and you worrying like that. That's not retiring. And you shouldn't have your money in something like that. When you get ready to retire, you're supposed to call someone like the Henderson Financial Group and say, what are my options? What can I do? Because I don't want to have my money in this roller coaster. But some people, James, instead of calling the Henderson Financial Group, they figure they smart. They know how to do it. So they call the company and say, listen, just give me all my money. I don't want it in the market no more. Just give me all my money. And when you do that, they automatically take minimum 20% out off the table. And you didn't have to do that. You could have called the Henderson Financial Group. We could have said we're going to do a rollover. It's special terminology, a rollover. Rollover means you can transfer your money out into an individual retirement account. The Henderson Financial Group does help you do it all, and you don't pay no taxes. That's a big deal, because a lot of people, when they say they're going to just cash out, when you cash out, you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars unnecessarily at that moment in time. You don't need to do that. Your money should be working for you. And if you're not going to use all $400,000 and go and spend it, then why would you be giving the government hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes? Because you leaned on your own understanding. Anytime you lean on your own understanding and you're not an expert in something, you're looking for some trouble. That's like me saying, James, I'm going to operate on your heart. And I ain't never went to medical school. Because I figure I can do it. I can go to YouTube. That's an accident waiting to happen. Some people say they're going to cut their own hair. Well, I mean, you can tell trust me, when y'all do your own hair, we know it.
Stop, Rob. Go back.
Okay. So when you try to do stuff that you're not a professional in, it shows, if you're gonna try to cook and be a chef and you're not really good at it. Like if I try to cook, I don't know how to cook, James. If I told you to come over, I'm gonna cook some food, it's gonna show up. You're gonna pretty much know that. If I said, Jay, come to my house, I'm a cook. You when you taste it, you're gonna know that I don't know how to really cook.
I'm easy, Rob. I'm easy. You can just do a salad for me. But Rob, the fact is that we, and I say we including me, when we don't know that there's a better way, we really do need to seek information. Because going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, for 4 decades, I was not enrolled with my VA, with my DD,
So your GI Bill, you wasn't using it. You didn't understand it.
Rob.
And you went to the military.
Boom.
And hey, let me ask you, was the information ready available or what?
Always. The information is always available. And until you meet someone like the lady I met. So going back to the people who will say, I've retired and I didn't do that. Okay, all right, be like me. You can't undo what's done, but you can help someone else. That's what, Rob. We can, the mistakes that we may make in life, hey, if we have learned the lesson, why not share the lesson to someone else so that they don't have to? Now, I'm telling, hey, and I have nieces, nephews, all in the service, either been in the service and out. Hey, but as I got the information, even my brothers, that were in the service, I began to share that information so that I don't want to have to say, well, I didn't do it then, and now it's too late. It's never too late. Take a deep breath. If you can take a deep breath, it's not too late.
That's for sure.
Rob, it's not too late. And so here's what we're hoping that this program and other programs like this will do, is not only open your eyes to something, but open your heart to wanting to share with other people so that they can get this information. There's some people that are just starting with, I'm going to be speaking with at a graduation class tomorrow. Well, I know when I open that door, Rob, I'll be talking about, Rob, I got this, I'm just doing this one. So please, folks, spare me.
And it's on a Sunday, right?
Yeah, it's on a Sunday, Rob. Ain't that something? 7 day. Hey. So I'm speaking to this, and it's at a church. So I'm gonna be in the right place. But they think they may get an inspiring speech, but they are going to get an inspiring, hey, as you talked about earlier, from the spiritual realm. Hey, and it's not just gonna be for those graduates, because some of us, people our age, are gonna be there. And I'm hoping that God will use me to shine that light. Woo! What did he just say? Did he say Thomas Anderson went to the Matrix, went to another? Yeah. How does that relate? Oh, I'm going to help them. I'm going to help them. So, Rob, please help them to understand. Now, not all of it, quote unquote, not all companies will allow you to do that active rollout. Am I correct? Without.
Yeah, well, a lot of companies but you got to ask, James. You gotta ask. We a lot of times we know not because we ask not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there are a lot of companies, man, that they have something and they got a retirement account and you have a 401k plan. You need to ask, do the company allow a in-service rollover? That means that while you're still working and you see the stock market is volatile and you want to put your money somewhere where you can never lose a penny, a dime, and it continues to go up for you, but you never ever have a setback, then you got to ask your company. You say, hey, we have a retirement account here. Am I eligible for a in-service rollover?
Repeat that, Rob.
It's called a
in-service
rollover. Companies like Home Depot, American Express, UPS, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, a lot of these companies have in-service rollovers.
And this is while you're working. And this is while you're working.
Why you don't have to retire. You can take control of your retirement account so you can create your own pension, because
Mm.
most companies have 401k, but then you can take your money and say, okay, I have a 401k with the company, but I want to roll that money over and put it in and create my own individual pension. And you do that with an insurance company. And then we do it all the time for people. Therefore, when you get ready to retire, you're going to get a certain amount of money every month for the rest of your life. And you have it where if you die, it goes to your spouse. And if you don't have a spouse, then you can go to your beneficiaries. And that's more control. But a lot of people don't even know that you can do that trade, that you can actually make that move, because most people just don't ask. I mean, it reminds me of, the average person that have a credit card that's paying, 20, 19%, 20%, 25, 29%, and they have good credit. The credit is, 700. And there's a lot of people that got 700 scores and they still paying 29% interest on a credit card. And you call a credit card company and say, why are you charging 29% on someone who has 700 scores? And the person behind who works for the credit card company will say, well, you never asked. We can lower it. You want us to lower it? We can lower it. As simple as that. They don't give you no pushback. If you got 700 scores, 680, they'll lower your interest rate. But people just don't ask. So they say, hey, we gonna milk this thing. We gonna milk it. And people will take advantage of you if you keep giving your money up. It's like concert tickets. Concert tickets cost $400 and $500. Only reason why they cost $400 and $500 because people keep paying. I ain't paying no $500 for no concert. I look at YouTube. I come on, man, please. Pay no
All right.
$500 to see
Right,
nobody.
right.
I get YouTube. See
Well,
myself.
see, because no one has shown them how they can take that $500 for that ticket, that they were going to pay, and place it in a position as it is a seed and give it 5 years. And they'll say, what? What? Do you mean to tell me? Yeah, come on. So this is the information that we want to share with the people who check this out, whether it's now or later. You know, please, when you get good information, pass it on. You know, people who are working. I, it, I had a friend at my workplace yesterday, speak to me. And I told him, I said, I don't care what time of day or night it is, my brother, because, I have a fondness for him. And I said, hey, he said, James, I just didn't want to bother. I said, no, bother me. I said, because if I don't know, I'm going to tell you, I don't know, but I can most likely send you to someone who does and send you to someone who can help you so that, hey, as you begin to build and to grow, you'll be able to share with others how you did it, and what you did and what someone did for you. And Rob, we all have that story. So recognizing the fact that if you wait until you retire, you can't go back and tell them, Robert, you can't go back and tell them, hey, can I take that money? Can I take that money now? Or can you?
Well, once you leave, well, if it's a pension, once you leave, but once you leave, if you got a 401k or a 457 plan or 403b, once you leave service, yeah, you can call the Henderson Financial Group and say, hey, I got some money with my old employer. How can I roll it over and avoid paying those taxes? And we'll help you. We do it all the time. We do it every day with people. People call from all walks of life and all over the country. And that's what we're here doing. We helping, we busy bees over here at the Henderson Financial Group. This is what we love to do. But
Is
James,
there is there a penalty if you do that, Rob?
no, there's
You
no
left?
penalty. No, it's no penalty at all. If you work for your past employer and you have retirement accounts or money that's with that old employer, and you want to get it all in one place, and you want to run.
Even if they're paying you a monthly pension already.
No, no. Okay, there's difference between a pension
Mm-hmm.
and what we say the 401k. A 401k is not a pension. A pension is, and when you think of a pension, I want you to think of something that is like Social Security, where you have worked and now you're not working, and they're paying you monthly. Or even if you're working, you can turn on your pension and still receive pension. There's some people that worked in the military and they're getting a pension. They're getting a certain amount of money for the rest of their life, but then they go out and they start a second job and they still getting that. And then some people have a pension from the service, and some people go and they work 30 years, 25 years somewhere else, and they get a pension from there. And then they're getting a pension from Social Security. Pension meaning that you get a certain amount every month, rain or shine, doesn't really matter. A 401k plan, you can run out of money, because a 401k plan, it's not forever when you start taking money out, if you just have it still in the stock market, because it goes up and it goes down. And the more money you take out, the principal value diminishes, it goes down. So you could drain a 401k plan until you have no more money. Lots of people do. I mean, one lady I remember several years ago, she was a correctional officer, and she went out and retired with $700,000. And she was only making like $80,000 a year. Well, within 2 years, she spent all $700,000, and now she's on welfare. She spent it all. And I looked at her and I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Hey, I don't know if I'm gonna. Life is short, so I got this 700,000. I'm gonna have a good time." That's somebody who's short-sighted. Now her penalty is she probably gonna live a long time in poverty, because she got to pay for that mistake. And all those who are around her, all her brothers and sisters and everybody, she's an example for them not to do. So that's because she didn't have a pension. She had a 401k. 401ks, when you have a 401k and you get ready to leave, you roll it over, and we can show you how to turn it into a pension where you can never run out of money. And that's what you want. Okay. But if you already have a pension and they start paying you from your employer, you can't go back and say, "Hey, I changed my mind, I want to get it all." No, it's too late. You have to make a decision right then and there. If you standing on the side of the pool and you jump in that water and you get wet, you can't get unwet. You done got wet. The toothpaste is already out the tube. When you start taking a pension distribution, money from a pension, you can't go back and say, "No, I don't want y'all to pay me monthly no more. I want y'all to just give me all my money because I want to just go live in another country." No, they got to keep paying you drip, drip, drip a month. When you start Social Security, it's a pension. When you turn it on, they're going to pay you $1,500 a month or $3,000 a month or $2,500 a month. You can't say Social Security Administration, "I don't need y'all to pay me $2,500 a month. I need $30,000 right now. Can y'all just give me $30,000 for the year?" No, it don't work like that, because those are pensions. Okay. And pensions can be good because you ain't got to worry about, money being different each month. It's going to be the same. So that's good. And most people want a pension. But when you have a 401k and you retire, it ain't like a pension. You start taking $2,500 out. I'll give you a perfect example. You got $300,000 in a 401k, and you say what you're going to do now, you're going to withdraw $2,500 a month, which is $30,000 a year. In 10 years, you don't draw it all out. Now you would say, because every time it get ready to go up, every month, it's trying to go up. It's trying to grow from 300,000 to 305,000. But you just took $2,500 out, so you stopping the growth. It's like planting a seed and snatching it out before it actually grows into, tomatoes, because you keep snatching it out. So when you got a 401k, if you keep taking a distribution from a 401k, you're not helping it. You stunting it. Some people say, "Hey man, I'm going to plant a mango tree. Here's a seed." But before the darn thing can go into a mango tree, you done dug it up. You sell a seed, So you cannot take a distribution like that forever on a 401k. No, unless you done turn that 401k into a pension, until you done took the 401k and put it into an annuity or something. When you put it into an annuity, then it's not going to fluctuate, and you're going to get a stream of income for the rest of your life, like a pension. A 401k will not give you a stream of income for the rest of your life. No, it will not. And it all depends on how much you have. If you got $2-3 million in a 401k and you're taking out $30,000 a year, $2,500 a month, yeah, it might make it, but still it's going to be ups and down, because when the market's down some months, you're going to be taking money out. You like to take money out when it's up, but you don't know at the end of the month when you get ready to take your distribution if the market going to be up or down. That's why people like when you retire, you say, let me go to a pension where I ain't got to worry about that value up and down. I'm just going to get this money for the rest of my life. And that's what we do. We help people when they get ready to retire, take the money out of them 401ks, put it somewhere where it's going to give you money. If you die, give to your spouse. If you don't have a spouse, then you get it all for the rest of your life. And then if you died in 10 years or 5 years, whatever's left in there goes to your beneficiary. Go to your alma mater, go to your children. Okay, but pensions from companies, if you're not married when you die, they keep the money. Social Security, when you die, that pension, when you die and you don't have a spouse, they keep the money. Social Security. Okay, so it's kind of different than having your individual pension, the way we tell you and show you how to set up at the Henderson Financial Group. Man, I hope y'all are. I see a lot.
Frank just asked a great question. He says, what is a rollover bonus?
Well, he's saying when you with an insurance company annuity, like we have some companies that we work with that you roll over. Let's say you roll over $100,000, and the insurance company said, if you roll over $100,000, we're gonna give you a bonus match. We're gonna give you 25% bonus. So now you roll over 100,000, insurance company give you 25,000 on top of it. So now you got 125,000. Now you can start getting a set income, a pension every month based on not 100,000 but 125,000. You can start getting 6%, 8%, off that every year. And they give it to you. And then we have another company that gives you 40%. So you roll over $100,000 and they give you 40% match. So now you got 140,000. But the catch with that is you can't start taking the income right away. You got to let that baby bake, be in the crock pot. So we got to let that stay in there for 10 years. And then when, maybe it's $240,000 in there, you put 100,000, they match it with 40, 10 years, it grew another 100,000. Now you got 240,000. Now you're going to get 6% or 7% or 8% off that. Then that's like a pension for the rest of your life, So that's what a bonus is when you do that. But see, a lot of people try to figure this out. Or they go, like I had a lady call me the other day. See, somebody, can you believe this, Jane? Somebody put this lady into a variable annuity and 16-year penalty that she couldn't get out for 16 years. She done been in there since 2014. I called the company with her. They told her if she roll that over, get out, they're going to charge her $9,000. I'm like, who would do this to somebody? But there's a lot of people who just sell y'all stuff, just sell you stuff. And it just sell you stuff that doesn't match with your plan, what you're trying to do. It just sell you stuff, it just sell you stuff, It's like you go into a grocery store. I mean, you go into to buy a shirt or whatever, and there's a lamp over there, and they sell you a lamp. You came into the store to buy a shirt, but they sell you a lamp at the same time. People just sell you anything they want to say so they can get a commission or a fee or whatever. It has to coordinate where you trying to go, what direction that you trying to go, and what financial instruments that you need in order to accomplish your goal and get you where you are going. That's what a plan is, not just somebody selling you something. You know what I mean?
Amen. Hey, any other questions or comments, please enter it into the comment section there. And of course, if you'd like to make an appointment with Mr. Henderson or one of the members of his staff, what do they do, Rob?
305-825-1444. Area code is 305-825-1444. You can also go on our website, and there's just a plethora of information there that you can read and you can set up. And matter of fact, you can fill out some forms and tell us your situation, and we will help you. You can set up a conference call or a Zoom or GoToMeeting. Everything is private. We're fiduciaries over here. And you can go to our website, and that's www.hendersonfinancialgroup.com. www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. And our website is fantastic, and you can learn a lot. And then, like I say, you can call, make a conference call, set up a conference call, or set up a Zoom meeting, and I'll be happy to talk to you about your individual plan, not what your cousin's plan, not what somebody else have, but what you have. It's, we're like physical doctor, we're like physicians. We gotta do your blood work. You know, we gotta look at your levels. We gotta look at your blood. We gotta look at where you are, your condition, not your cousin, not your friend, not your brother, not your husband, not your wife. We gotta look at yours. And then we gotta look at your wife. If you're married, we'll look at that and we'll put it together and say, okay, y'all need to stop eating so much sodium. Your high blood pressure. Stop eating so much sodium. Stop eating them TV dinners and all them potato chips. Now, a lot of times we tell you, you don't have to listen to us, but we're gonna tell you the truth, you know. And there's a lot of people. I had a lady call me, said, man, since I made a mistake 10 years ago, I came to see you, but I went to somebody else and they messed me up. I said, they did, huh? Now you back. She said, yeah, can you take him back? I said, yeah, I take you back. Jesus, I mean, God said, hey, you know, you can be redeemed. I take you back. I told you, but you went to somebody else that had a better looking office. It was on the 33rd floor of downtown Miami. You went there and them people ain't tell you nothing. They just took your money and rip you off. Now you back. That's all right. You know, you're like the prodigal son.
Welcome.
Welcome. Come on in. Come on in.
We're gonna have
Come
a
on in.
party. We're gonna have a party. Now that you're
feast.
back.
Glad you're back. Because some people don't come back. Some people just mess up and go on, be messed up. Their ego, their pride won't say, man, you told me. You know, some people don't, you know. But hey, man, listen, we love what we do at the Henderson Financial Group. But James, you know, I really it still amazes me that grown people, because a lot of times when I hear stories and people talking to me, I always say, how old are you? Because I'm thinking, like, you're supposed to learn. I mean, you know, when you get a certain point, you know, like a baby, you know, you crawled, and from crawl, you're trying to walk, and you know, 2, 3 years old, you know. But if you're 12 years old and you still crawling, I'm like, oh, something wrong. So it's for a lot of people. To me, I'm like, okay, so you make $100,000 a year, and you spend every time you get paid, you spend everything.
No, Rob, they spend all of that and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, it's because you said that plastic card. You know, I can spend everything because I'm gonna get paid again next week. But you're still going, you're going deeper and deeper in debt, and you have no plan. But you desire to retire for whatever reason, or you desire to leave that job only to do something that you believe that you would be greater at.
James, James, that is so foreign to me. That's alien to me. Because ever since I was a kid, I always saved something. You know, if I made $10, I always save a few dollars and put it away. That's alien to me. It's so foreign to me. I hear it all the time. There are people that a certain mindset. You know, it's just like some people will drink every weekend till they pass out. I mean, literally fall out. I mean, they fall out on the ground, like
Living for the
unconscious.
weekend. Living for the weekend, Rob. The OJ's did a song about that. Living for the weekend.
And wake up.
And wake up. Music Month. It's Black Music Month, so pull that one up. Living for the weekend. No, but Rob, truly, it behooves us to even reach out to them. You know, I mean, you can't make them change, but you can speak to them, hoping that they will glean something from what you say that will bring about a change. Even if it's nothing more than, as you said a few months ago, what's your number?
What's your number?
Is your number? What is your number?
Well, it's pretty hard for me it's really hard for me to help someone who don't want to help themselves. It's really, really hard. And I got a lot of colleagues that they won't even take on clients who are not trying to help themselves. Clients who just want to make money and spend every dime. And then the clients come to them and say, "Hey, man, I got a budget problem." No, you have a mental problem. You know, because it's self-preservation. I mean, even the squirrel don't eat all their nuts. They save some nuts. You know, even a kangaroo have a pouch and have some for later. I mean, here you are. God gave
No,
God
no.
gave man you dominion. We supposed to we control. You know the land and animals and we supposed to be thinkers, man. We God gave us dominion over all that stuff,
No,
man. I mean,
nobody ever told them that. Nobody tells them that they have power and dominion, and that the kingdom of heaven is not up there, but down here.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, they
Anyway,
haven't heard that message yet. They haven't listened to Dr. Claude Anderson or
Dr. Claude
Dr.
Anderson, I'm gonna tell you something, man. That
Dr.
that dude.
Miles Monroe.
Oh man, these are some good people, man. You could get on the treadmill, ride your bike in the car. You know what I'm saying, James? You know, hey James, just like I was saying when you went out because your power went out, and I had said,
Mm.
James T, I said, you love this stuff in terms of the community and helping, and you've been doing it for a long, long time, man. And you really, I mean, you're a music guy, you like it, but then it's more than music for you. I mean, you truly, truly, and even at Hot 105, I know you just busting out the scene that you just want to help the people and give them more than just bumping and grinding. But I know the time is going to come
Woo.
because you asking for that. We don't know exactly what day or what hour,
I know
but
what year though, Mom. I mean, Mom must be talking about me. I know what year.
you do. You say you
I know.
know what year?
Yes, Rob. That's why I cut my locks
Oh,
after
yes,
20.
right. That's right. You did cut your locks, man.
After 24 years, I know this is the year. Hey, this is the year, man. This is the
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
I'm not going to the moon, but it's gonna feel like it. I'm not going to outer space, but it's gonna feel like it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
man.
I'm gonna be like Thomas Anderson. I'm gonna wake up and realize that what we think is real, that there's something behind it. Because Thomas Anderson, he was
The
a
Matrix.
yeah, computer programmer
Right.
and a part-time hacker too. He did it all, But but all of a sudden he realized that, oh, wait a minute. Hmm, is this a dream or is there really another world in a spiritual realm that controls the natural?
Isn't that something?
Woo, wow,
See,
wow.
most people see most people that watch the Matrix, they just watch the kung fu fighting stuff. They miss the message.
No, no, no,
And just
no.
about in life itself, most people miss this message that we are living in. They miss it. They just entertain and want to have a good time and want to do the wobble. You know what I
Well,
mean?
what they need to do, Rob, is to read. If they will read and realize, even if you don't want to believe in God or whatever, hey, there's some people that have lived a life and have learned truths that you need to listen to, and then test it and see. But if you realize that all this thing, we fight not against flesh and blood, against principalities and powers and dark place. Hey, so you mean to tell me there's another place that creates this that we face? And the answer is yes. And where is that other place? It's heavenly places. And we are told that if we will recognize, as Robert said, that we have dominion, we can go to that place and control this place. But if you don't realize that there's another place, you gonna get that devil gonna beat you upside the head with every stick you give him and permission and power, even though he is defeated. He could not do
Hey,
anything
James, people
without.
say, man, people say, what you talking about, Willis?
Okay, let me hush. I'm gonna share that story tomorrow. I'm gonna share that story.
Hey, James, we need prayer, man.
Oh,
Take
oh
us out
wow.
with prayer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the prayer is today. Father God, Yeshua, Holy Spirit, we truly do, first of all, thank you. Thank you for having those of us who realize that there is a heavenly realm. Yes, a spiritual realm and another place that we can go beyond our natural senses, those five, to see, to feel, to hear, to taste. We ask you, oh God, if you will bless us so that we may be a blessing. And that blessing is not creating something for us, but allow us to receive that you have already created for us so that we can get it. And when those windows of heaven open up and pour out more blessing than we can receive, then we can be greater blessings to others. So for those who've listened today, God, we ask that you would ask them to first seek within themselves and ask you to enlarge their territory and recognize that with knowledge, understanding, that we can find the wisdom to do the application and be better than we've ever been, but not as good as we are going to be. And if you will do that for us and our viewers and listeners, we promise to give you all the praise. In Yeshua's name we pray. Amen,
Let the
amen,
church say amen. Hey, Jan, somebody say, what that other spiritual realm that you're talking about? Somebody asks, do you have to die in order to see it?
Oh, no, 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 no.
You're not talking about you're not talking about died and why you saying while you're alive, you can get to it.
Wait, he said, thy kingdom come on where? Earth,
Earth.
as it is in heaven. The kingdom is here. And we
So
just
that's
act
like,
we just acting like we got to die to go to heaven.
hey, so that sight you talking about that whole new thought. What you talking about? You can get it while you're alive here in the flesh.
Rob, I'm a witness. I grew up in the country. Yeah. Fortunately, with a grandmother. You know, she was my mom and my dad until my mom and my dad was in my presence. But she was all of that. But Rob, when we realized that all of us, she didn't go to Harvard nor Yale, but she gave me something that has lasted me all these years, where I never had to beg a white man for a job. That was a blessing.
That was deep, man. That was
That was
deep.
that was a blessing.
That was gratitude.
She had a third grade education.
And you
But
never forgot it.
that was what that was what she gave. She said,
She
"I want to give you this." You know,
gave you some wisdom.
can you imagine somebody showing you how you can earn money
But James,
without?
you was open and receptive.
Well, Rob, I was in her house eating free. Sleep. Hey, Rob, I wasn't paying rent. I was in the third grade.
You was open and receptive. That's all we asked, to be open and receptive, man. That's
I,
hey, in the
I
Matrix,
love
that's what the guy
it.
was, open and receptive.
Robert Henderson, I want you to know I love you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Likewise, brother, love you too.
Keep
Peace.
on doing what you're doing.
Have a happy weekend and be
Oh,
safe.
man.
All right, yo, we gotta go. All right, peace.
Oh, boy.